Hey, I just got back from lunch. Did you finish that report yet?
Well, not exactly. Still working on it. I'm not finished just yet. I got a little sidetracked, but I will get them to you first thing this afternoon.
It is first thing this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, I am working on
But
it. I'll have,
what do you mean that the report isn't finished yet?
I'm still in the process of working on it. I've just been a little distracted.
Distracted. Our meeting starts in an hour.
I can have it.
No. What were you doing? Were you listening to another hunting podcast again? I swear, I give the staff in this office the freedom to do whatever they want to do as long as they meet a deadline. That is the first bullet underneath your job description. Pays attention to detail and deadlines. And deadlines. Dude, are you even listening to me right now?
Welcome to episode 152 of the Whitetail Distraction Podcast. My name's Austin, and joining me on a very, very stormy night, Charles Hedlund. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. What's happening?
Not much, man. I like this whole get up you got going
like
on
that?
right now.
It's actually extremely comfortable.
Should I try it?
Yeah, try it on. So as I'm going to go ahead and play by play here, Austin is putting his hood on and putting the headset over top of the hood.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It gets very warm, though. I couldn't do a full podcast unless it was cold like this, because we are wearing our scree jackets currently.
Oh, the grid light.
The grid light, that's right.
Oh, it's comfy.
It is comfy. You got the Solace, I got the Summit.
Yeah, I like that.
How come you went with the Solace on the grid light? Just throwing a question out there.
I have all my stuff in Solace.
Okay. So
I like the pattern. I like the Summit too, but I have a certain affinity for this. I don't know why.
I love it. I just didn't know if you had a thought process behind it. So, you know, while we're here, we're just going to go ahead and plug Scree, by the way. So we're going to take care of this right out the gate. Go check them out, screegear.com. They just dropped 4 brand new products. Well, 3 brand new products and a 4th in solids. So
True.
They just dropped the Venture Flex pants.
Yep.
4-way flex, extremely movable, durable, just everything you need in a light to midweight pant. They dropped the Guardian Series hat,
Which is sweet.
beanie cap
With the Berber fleece and the
it's gonna be
gnarly.
sick. They're calling it polar fleece. It's Berber.
It's Berber.
Then they dropped also the regular vest, the
In
hard travel
solids.
vest in solids.
Dude, I'm thinking I might get one in ash brown and put our logo on the other side.
Oh,
For show
don't
season?
you even dare.
I'm going to.
If you do it, I have to too.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll go one step up to the brand new ptarmigan vest.
Ooh, I know.
Boy, oh boy, finally it's here.
That's nice, man.
Dude, I will have that immediately.
They only
wait.
have it.
They don't only have it
Well, they don't only have it. I would say the only solid color they have it, though, is in the
right
green.
now.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that has something to do with
Probably sourcing.
because they just dropped a video on it and they mentioned it will be out in both solid colors. So
I
just
know.
calm down. Calm down. I'll probably get it in the Solace personally.
It's about to be festival season, and I want to wear it.
yeah.
Oh, my
So
God.
getting back to my original point, I kind of split my bag. All of my early season stuff and my lighter weight stuff I have in Summit.
Yeah.
The greener pattern, it's built more for, brushy, kind of built to blend into an environment. Mm-hmm. The Solace is all my later season stuff, my hard scrabble jackets in Solace as well. But all of my heavier stuff's in Solace. It is built as a pattern for more open area.
Yeah.
To blend in when there's no leaves on the trees or, you're out in the open area, open country.
Yes, sir.
So that's kind of how I built my bag. Plus, the nice part about that is I know if I'm looking for something warm, it's Solace. So I don't have to look through the entire bag to find my Kodiak pants
Yes.
because they're in Solace. And all my other pants will either be in a solid color or a Summit.
Or Summit.
So I can quickly identify and pull out. And I don't know. I thought that was a good idea.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
In my own head.
I could always pick up a couple more pieces and get them in the Summit.
Yeah, you could.
You know.
You It probably will.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to go with the so the Venture Flex coming
Ooh, I know.
only solid colors currently, which is fine. I think I'm going to go green.
I'm gonna go brown.
We both just got the hard scrabble in ash brown.
I know, and I love it too much.
And I feel like same thing. If I'm looking for them, I
You're
could
gonna be
easily
able to
just
tell the
grab
difference.
I know, but I could easily grab a green pair of pants out, and I don't have a pair of green pants of
That's
any
true.
sort.
That's
so
true.
why not, right?
I like it.
Yeah. Either way, I'm very excited. Very excited. But I'm also excited for deer season. And coming up with that is shooting our bow, dialing in. And one thing that I don't have to worry about dialing in because I know it's already going to be dialed is my VIP broadhead.
That's true, my man.
My combat veteran will be punching holes.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
Season's coming. I can already smell it in the air. It's starting to be nice and cool in the mornings. I cannot wait
Dude, it's going to
to be crunching on some
gonna
leaves,
be
looking
here
for some red.
before we know it.
I know.
2B will be opening up in like weeks.
The 16th?
Yeah. We're talking 3 weeks away, right?
Yeah, man.
3 weeks.
Coming up.
Oh, my God.
Can you believe there's already people in the country hunting deer?
I know. And killing deer.
Yeah.
Like crazy. South Carolina, Florida. They're killing deer. It's crazy.
I hope they're using combat vets.
If they're not, they're foolish.
I would say so.
Yeah, I personally like the combat veteran the best. I think I told you on the last podcast. I think I told you on the podcast about my buddy shooting his.
Yep.
And absolutely just almost blowing through his same arrow. And he's dialed in with them. He loves them.
They're
So,
awesome, man. They are. Can't say enough good things about them.
Heck
Great
yeah.
people, too.
Heck yeah. I think I'm still using some of the original broadheads from day one. How many years ago now that
That's
we've been
awesome.
shooting these broadheads since they've come out?
Still sharp as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still just in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I love that.
Yep. And still red, white, and blue. America.
America. That's awesome.
But yeah, man, that's it. That's it for me. I don't know. There's not much to go on. There's not much of an update. It's weather's turning. It's getting time. I'm seeing deer out. My cameras are blowing up. Food's getting out. We're going to make one more run and drop some stuff just one more time.
Absolutely.
And that'll be it for the season.
I can jive on it, man.
We still got a little bit of time before our regular season. I think it's 30 days. You have to have it down 30 days out from start of season,
Yeah,
right?
you got to pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it'll be gone by then. It's been taking those deer about 10 to 15 days on average to eat through the piles that
There
we've
you
been
go.
putting out.
That's not bad.
No.
Good deer density.
Yeah, they crush
Yeah.
them, dude. They've been all over them. The
That's
fawns
awesome.
are growing up. You should see the buck growth just in the small bucks
Oh, I bet.
since they started eating. There's been the same like 3 small bucks that have been crushing our piles. Those dudes put on some freaking inches.
It's good for them, man. It's really good for the does, though, too.
Yeah, it is, and that's what
Yeah.
I like. You know, we had a group of 6 doe come in the other day,
Mm-hmm.
feeding through the pile, and then as soon as they left, a group of 2 came in behind them. So it's like there's some deer
Yeah.
in the area, and I love to see it.
That's awesome, man. I know this weekend I'm going to try and run out real quick and throw out some cameras and stuff like that. I was looking, and on the way to one of the properties that we like to hunt, I was looking at some hunter access program properties,
Okay,
and I found one quite off the beaten path. Hopefully, no one really knows about it. I'm sure some people do, but I'm going to go ask permission there. It was like 260 some acres.
jeez.
So that would be a really
be
nice one
awesome.
to pick up. I'm going to go ask permission and see what happens.
Yeah,
While I'm there, there's a property also close that I might go ask permission for. Depends what kind of mood I'm in. If I get a yes, I'm definitely going to knock on the next one.
Yeah,
Those no's hurt a little bit, but
I
I'm
know.
pretty used to it at this point.
yeah. I need to go down and ask permission on some of the neighboring properties down in 2B as well, and see if I can't re-access some places with new permission. But
I like it.
it's tough, man. It's like, when do you have the time?
Yeah.
You got to make the time. 100%. You have to make the time.
That's the thing. That's why this weekend I was like, if I'm going to run out and I'm already going to be driving past it to go throw out some cameras, why not stop and ask? It's only going to be 5 more minutes,
Right.
you know.
I should give you
One more
coordinate-
minute if I
you're going
don't.
where I think you're going, I should give you the coordinates of my camera that's been dead since last October.
There's just one spot there that I want to throw a camera because I know of an apple tree.
Okay. Well,
And
if you're gonna be in
apples
the
have
area,
been loaded this year. But I
don't-
also want to go way past that because there's another
Yeah.
spot I want to throw a camera
okay.
out past that area.
Well, if you're in the area, maybe you could just climb up a tree and grab my camera for me.
I can probably do that.
I don't know if you'd find it, to be honest with
I
you.
might not. You might have to do it
Well, because
yourself.
here's the thing. I never put an actual pin on it
that's
exactly
gonna be
where it
tough.
is. I know. I wouldn't do that to you because you'd just be stumbling around.
It's not like you're going to see me.
right.
like, "You're
Yeah,
close,
like,
turn
hey,
around."
turn around. And it's up in the air. It's,
That's
it's
fun.
right on a major deer trail.
Yeah.
But, like,
I have an idea of where it is. Maybe
Yeah.
if I'm in there, maybe I'll go look anyway.
I
but-
have a random, like, close pin that I think of where it is. I dropped years ago or last year. And I could send that to you if you're going to be scouting that area.
If I go, I'll ask you for it.
Okay, cool.
I can dig it.
Cool. This weekend, actually, if you go, maybe I'll join you, depending
That'd
on
be
the
cool.
day.
That would be cool.
I know I'm busy Saturday, but my Sunday's pretty open.
Good. You can experience some no's with me.
All right. See what we can do.
Yeah, that'd be fun, man. This is a good episode, though, man. I'm excited about this one.
The mini series continues as
It
promised.
does, as promised. I can guarantee you guys this one is going to go to fruition. It's going to be completed.
Yep, we're already in the works,
We got them in the backlog, and we're finishing up a couple more, and then we
Yeah.
are solid.
which is why you're getting the longer intros because these are all kind of pre-recorded and we're adding the intros in real time.
We got to keep them
So,
up to date a
yeah,
little bit.
so you guys know what we're doing in real time.
Yeah.
And, we miss you guys. We don't get an opportunity when we have a guest on to kind of, chitter chat and
That's right.
give you guys the updates of what we got going on. So that's why we do it in the longer intros. So we apologize for the long intros, but I'm sure you guys, you don't mind too much, right?
I hope not. I hope not.
I'm sure.
But if you wouldn't mind, on top of that, if you guys could go over to iTunes or wherever you guys listen to us and give us a 5-star review, it would be greatly appreciated. We haven't asked for it in a while, but
That's right.
it helps get us a little bit more recognition and help people like you find us.
If nothing else, go tell a friend about us.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have friends that listen to podcasts. You have hunting friends that don't listen to podcasts. Let them know about us.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
We're here.
Yeah. And then, like Austin always says, if you can send us a review and tag us or show us a picture of it, whatever, send it to us. We'll send you some stickers.
Send
man.
us a screenshot on Instagram or something like that. We'll send you some stickers.
We
or
got
something.
goodies. We have goodies.
we do
are
have
just,
goodies.
We are just waiting to give away.
Oh, yeah.
We want to just hand them out.
Should I break something out right now?
If you want, that's
Okay.
up to you.
If you guys have ever listened to some of our earlier episodes, you could always send me an email. I'm kidding.
That's the longest email address ever.
That's funny. It is.
It is.
It is.
But hey, what are you going to do?
I'll just sit and keep refreshing my email waiting for people.
You did get an email recently.
I
which
did.
is-
We got some fun stuff coming up,
We
guys. We got some
do.
collaborations and stuff. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be fun. We're trying to keep it super consistent. And we're trying to bring you guys some fresh content that we haven't brought you in the past. That's why we're doing this little series.
Yep.
We're trying to get some different people on that, you don't really hear about. And I think that's going to keep it a little bit more up to date and more interesting for you guys. I don't want to fall into that trap of like going over the same thing. Like, oh, hey, it's rut. Why don't we talk about rut hunting? Which I do want to talk about, but because I love
course.
it.
Why not?
I'm going to give you some other stuff in there too.
I will also mention before we get this episode rolling because we've gone too long. But if you guys want to hear some of one of the series that went over really well in the past was the Deer Slayer series. We really enjoyed that. I know Austin and I love doing it. If that's something you guys want to see come back, let us know.
Or if you have an idea for a guest that you want to hear, we will do our damnedest to get them on.
Absolutely.
Usually they say yes. All right, guys, here's TX5 Custom.
All right, guys, we are back. Another episode. We are here with Matthew Tompkins, and we are here with the second episode of our little mini series of saddle hunting, all things saddle. And Matt here is the owner of TX5 Custom Gear. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. The pleasure is all ours. I know Austin's excited for this one.
I'm giddy about this one, bud. This is exciting.
Now, before we get too deep into this one, we always ask if you don't mind taking just a quick second and kind of introduce yourself, of who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Matthew Tompkins, obviously from Southeast Texas, a little town called Deweyville, and I make custom hunting gear, from saddles to backpacks, tree stands, transport systems for tree stands, pouches, pretty much anything to do with saddle hunting or mobile hunting, we do it.
That's awesome. And
Excellent.
they're excellent products to boot, my man. I know from experience.
I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited you came on, man. Let's hop right into this bad boy. Let's jump right into the saddles first and foremost. I have one of your older ones. I have the Reaper, but I know you have the Raider now, and you have the
Lone Star
the
2.0
Lone Star 2.0
and the Minimalist 2.0,
and
I
the
believe, right?
Minimalist, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of reworked both of those this year in 2023. I think we launched the Lone Star in 21, so it's been out for a couple of years. But just, saw some improvements we could make on both of them, and I think we're obviously we've released both of them, and we've got them in customers' hands, and we're getting a lot of good feedback on both of them.
Excellent. I saw the Minimalist. That thing's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we sell quite a few of those. It's pretty much just a belt if you want it. It kind of has some shock cord and some webbing buttons that I came up with. Kind of lets you store the seat up around your waist. And the leg straps are removable. So it's essentially when you walk into the woods, if you want to walk, it's just like wearing a leather belt or a tactical belt, however you want to say it. And if you're going a long ways back, in some public land, or you don't know exactly where you're going to be going, I really feel like it's great for that, just because most saddles nowadays, it's a pain in the butt to walk in them. But like I said, if you're going a long ways back in there, it's zero restrictions, because the saddle around your waist, it's not getting hung up on anything. It's not hanging down on your legs. Another thing that a lot of guys use it for is the hybrid system. They use it, when they're hunting with a tree stand, like a .5 or the Elevate Ultra, the new XOP retrograde, those little bitty small stands. They utilize a saddle with that, and it works great for that, because the leg straps are set up more like a rock climbing harness style leg straps. So yeah, a lot of guys, like I said, they're using it for that hybrid system with a tree stand.
That's pretty cool. I never really thought about that, but actually looking at it on the website and hearing you talk about them running it with the smaller tree stands, that could be pretty legit. I can see that.
Yeah, honestly, that's how I hunt most of the time, is with a .5, and I use either. I hunt with the Lone Star with it too, but a lot of the times I just run the Minimalist, and I like the stand because it gets rid of me having to bring a backpack. I put all my sticks and everything onto the stand, and I have a little bag, the EOP that we sell, the Essentials Only pack, and it attaches to there. And if I need to haul out a deer with that, I can with that EOP, because I can put my meat on the shelf of the seat. But it works really well with a hybrid system.
I like it, man. I like it. That's pretty sweet. That's actually a pretty sweet little setup right there.
So what's the big difference between the Raider and the Lone Star 2.0? I see those are both on there. What is the big differential part between those two?
So the big difference there is the HPR system.
Okay.
Which is the HPR stands for hip pinch reduction system. And the Lone Star 2.0, the Lone Star, that's what we came when it was introduced, was the Lone Star. Carried it over to the Lone Star 2.0. And there's a webbing sleeve at each hip, each side of the saddle. and it has a kydex, like a stay, kind of like a stay out of a pack,
Okay.
It makes it rigid. And what it does is it keeps the saddle from collapsing at your hip, the top and the bottom chassis. Wish I could draw y'all a picture of it, but when the bridge is on the bridge loop, it's it's forming that triangle. And when weight's put into it, the top, main webbing and the bottom webbing of the saddle want to come together at your hip. Well, what the HPR system does is it keeps that webbing apart. It doesn't, put that pressure on your hip bone out there.
Okay.
I can dig that.
Which is probably the number one complaint when you think about saddle hunting, especially long term up in the tree, is hip pinch. I mean, that's like what everybody wants to get rid of, right? Is saddle's great, it's the best thing ever, but if I get rid of this hip pinch,
Yeah.
Yeah,
people are coming out with spreaders and everything else. I'm like, this is getting out of control.
Yeah, it's like, that's just one more thing I don't want to carry in the woods with me. It's a great idea, and I'm sure it works phenomenally, but I don't want to look like I'm in my, in Austin's little girl's swing out in the backyard with that little thing across your lap. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like.
Yeah. And hey, I mean, it's a great idea. I don't see myself ever using it or needing it with my saddles personally, but it can't hurt. I promise you, it's not hurting. It's helping.
Yeah,
definitely.
So keep that pressure off your hip. But the reason why we came out with the HPR is that was one of our complaints with our saddles, and most saddles on the market was that area right there. When those two pieces of webbing compress, they put pressure right there on your hip. With the HPR system, it keeps them separated, and especially it does it really well. With the original Lone Star, we had some issues with the HPR was all the way out at the edge of the saddle seat, and we had some issues with the kydex buckling, and it still kept it separated, but it eventually over time, just you would have to replace the kydex.
Yeah.
What we did with the 2.0, we moved it back from the edge about 2 or 3 inches from each seat edge, and we've had some big dudes in it, not picking on him or anything, but Jace with Michigan Great Outdoors, he's a big guy. I mean, 270, 280 pounds, and he's had one of our early prototypes, and he's been testing it for a while, and he hasn't had any deformation in that kydex at all. So I'm confident that we've solved that problem with the 2.0, and think it's a great saddle, man.
That's awesome, man. Is that stitched right into that tubular webbing, or how does that actually work?
So the way we make it is the chassis webbing, the 1 3/4 nylon webbing that goes all the way around the saddle. We take 2 pieces of that and we sew it together. And the outside piece, like whichever material that, whether it's multicam mesh or Ranger Green Cordura, whatever you choose for your saddle seat, that outermost layer of that sleeve, we cover it with, the material that your saddle's made out of, or the fabric that your saddle's made out of. That way it makes it look nicer. That's all it's doing.
Awesome. One of the other things I really liked, I just noticed on like the Lone Star 2.0, is that belt loop system that you run, which allows you to run, I'm assuming, a normal belt through your waist belt webbing, through your pants, and then that basically keeps your saddle in place to where your actual saddle sits low on your butt like it's supposed to. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so that's another thing in the 2.0 that we did. As far as I know, it's the only dual waist belt system on the market. I looked around. I maybe don't know all the saddles are out, but pretty much all the big names that are out there. I don't think anyone else has done it, but yes. So it has an upper and a lower waist belt sleeves, and the upper one, it kind of puts the saddle right where it needs to be. Because I don't know about you guys, but the first thing I do when I get up in the tree and I'm ready to hunt, I mean, I'm loosening up my waist belt and I'm pulling my saddle down, 2 or 3 inches
Yep.
just to get it, because it's just more comfortable right there.
Yeah.
So what I did with this was you don't have to do that anymore. If you run the waist belt in that upper sleeve, then it's right there. You just get up there and you can leave your waist belt tight, your leg straps tight, everything. The saddle's right where it needs to be.
Oh man, that's awesome. I might have to send mine back to you and have you sew a couple of those on there for me.
We can do it.
Yeah, that's cool. The other thing I really liked about your saddles in general is that you offer multiple sizes. I mean, you really don't see anybody offering more than like a size or two. Mm-hmm. Usually it's 2 sizes at the most. I'm noticing your Lone Star itself has 4 different sizes, from small, medium, large to extra large. And then I also saw the Raider had 5 sizes, which is just unbelievable. When you're looking for a good, perfect fit, which is probably like the main thing when you're talking saddles, right? Is like the fit that fits you right. That seems to look like it helps a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Lone Star, the 2.0, it has, like you said, the 4 sizes: small, medium, large, and extra large. We will do an extra small in that as well. The extra small is mainly, it's going to be for your, 10 to probably 15-year-old kids, small kids, smaller women. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I don't offer it is a size on the Lone Star, because, most of the time you're not going to buy your kid it's a $350 saddle. So right. That's why we offer it in the Raider, because if you're going to get your kid a saddle, you're on a budget. So that's why we offer that extra small in our Raider.
Definitely. Yeah, that was actually one of the things I was going to bring up, because, again, being on some of the Facebook groups and stuff like that and looking, I actually noticed a few guys talking about how you made their kid a saddle, and I think that's just awesome, because, you see some posts and stuff like that, and guys are like, oh, I got the kid up in the saddle, and the saddle's humongous on them. It's just sitting there, like they're sitting in their saddle realistically. But I think that's really neat that you're offering that option to get, youth into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, my kids love it. My oldest son, he's a grown man. I mean, not a grown man. He's 17, but he's big. He's like 6'3", probably 220. So he's a big guy. And, of course, he doesn't wear a youth saddle, but I've got a 14-year-old that he runs the extra small. They both love it. And my little girl, I've got a little girl, too, that is 6 or 7, and she loves to get out there and, in the saddles and just hang and swing around. Haven't brought her on a hunt yet. It's coming, but she hasn't been in a tree with me. I actually had to get back on a private lease this year. I've been doing pretty much strictly public land for the last 3 years now, and my wife was like, she's always asking me to go with you. And it's especially around here, it's just hard to haul, a 4 to 6 year old out on public land to a stand that's not ready to go. So we got back on a private lease, and gonna have her and the wife some preset stands that they can go set in, and stuff that I can bring her to. It just make it a little bit easier. But I will be introducing her to the saddle this year. I'm trying to figure out a way to get her up the tree without her having to climb the sticks, and I think I have it figured out. But
well, when you nail that down, you give me a phone call, because I got a 3-year-old that's like tugging at my leg wanting to go out.
I think it's funny because my buddy has, I don't know how old she is, but he has a young daughter, probably 5 or 6, and he made her a DIY, like 1-stick type deal with like a little platform built on and everything. And she's been practicing in the yard, climbing the 1-stick up
that's
and down.
Wild.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It is. My oldest boy, he loves the 1-sticking. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't like doing he started out with multiple sticks, but he's all about the 1-sticking now. And hey, I got plenty of them, so he gets the pick of the litter. That's what I tell him all the time. He's how lucky he is. I was like, I didn't have none of this crap when I was a kid. Like I had an aluminum climber that I found in a junk pile that I made work. That was my mobile stand.
Oh my man. It is wild though now. I mean, even me and Charles growing up and stuff, we got a lot of hand-me-downs and stuff like that. And, there wasn't a lot of mobile hunting gear back then. And now it's insane. You can literally take the pick of the litter of everything. Everything's mobile hunting gear now. It's just, It's so crazy how many products are out there now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. I love it. I mean, I'm a gear nerd. I've got just pretty much everything. Anything to do with mobile. I don't have everything. I don't have that much. I don't got money like that, but I've got a bunch of gear that I don't need, but it's just like I see it and I'm like, man, I've got to try that. Just can't help myself.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And I was really bad for 3 or 4 years there in a row, just buying new. It was terrible, but so much stuff was happening so fast in the industry. Things were getting more streamlined and easier. And it was just like, give me more. And now I finally have kind of slowed down and pulled back, but then more new cool stuff's coming out. So we'll see how that works out. But, probably the perfect transition to kind of actually go into the beginnings of TX5 and how it came about that you just one day decided, hey, I'm going to build a saddle and sell it and create a company and start making these products. I mean, what was the mindset back when you first started?
So I wanted to get something that was light, because I was told myself I'm going to start hunting some public land that we have around here. And I was like, I'm tired of hauling this climber through the woods. I had a Summit Viper, I think. I was like, I'm just tired of hauling it through the woods. It's not that it's like super heavy, it's just super big. So I just kind of started looking, and that was in 2019, July, the summer of 2019. I was actually on a shutdown at work. I was on my computer at work looking at stuff, and back then it was just pretty much Arrow Hunter and tethered. And I actually ordered an Arrow Hunter Kestrel Flex, and I ordered it in like July, and I wasn't going to get it until like mid-November.
Oh no. And
my wife was actually pregnant with my youngest son. He's 4 now. And when she had him, I was like, you know what? I think I can make one of these. And I was like, I think my aunt, she has a sewing machine, and I bet she would just let me use it. Well, she ended up giving it to me. And it was a 1960 something, I don't even like, from Montgomery Ward or something, Anyway, I got that and just started messing around, man. And I was actually had a speedy stitcher. I don't know if y'all know what those things are, but it's like use it to like repair leather work. It's used for leather work and stuff like that, but it's pretty much you sew by hand. And I brought that and some webbing and some material to the hospital, and I'm like sitting in the hospital. She, had the baby, and she was in there for a few days, so I'm sitting in the hospital, with my speedy stitcher over there, and the nurses are walking in, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm making myself a tree saddle, and she's like, "You can't just buy one." I was like, "Yeah, I did, but it's not going to be here for like 4 months, so I got to do something. I want to use one this year." But after that, it was terrible. No way I was getting up on a tree with that thing. But eventually I got my aunt's sewing machine going and just started buying some material. And really, I was just kind of posting on the groups because that was the big thing. Everybody was making their own stuff back then, just posting pictures of it. Well, when I did that, that's kind of how it was all born, man. It was just people just started messaging me like crazy, like, will you make me a saddle? Will you make me a saddle? Back then, it was just me, and I had that one little, rinky-dink sewing machine. Well, I figured out that I liked it. First of all, I like to sew. I've always liked to build things. So I was like, you know what? Told my wife, I, started looking, into sewing machines, industrial sewing machines, so it would make my life a little easier, or not my life, but my sewing a little easier. And I ended up getting a Juki DDL 8700 was my first industrial machine, and it just kind of took off from there, man. Of course, that made it where I was able to do better quality work, but I was able to, get more out there. And then after that, well, I say after that, probably in late winter or probably around the first of the year, 2020, I was reached out to by this company that's in the industry, and they wanted me to help them design a saddle. And so I helped them do that, the Berserker. So I helped Drew and the Wild Edge team with that saddle. After that, I kind of just started, doing really, TX5 was born in, I think, August of when I started calling myself TX5 was August of 2020, I believe.
Pretty cool. We've had Drew on the show a few times. I actually just ran into him at the Great American Outdoor Show as well. I didn't realize that you had a part in the Berserker. I can see the similarities in it, though. I mean, that's definitely I could tell you must have some hand in it, because that's a pretty cool saddle too. But
yeah, and he had a good base of what he wanted to go with as far as like the Yorick, the work he did with Arrow Hunter. He wanted to carry that over, and that's pretty much what we did, and just threw some other stuff on it.
Yeah.
But that was, like I said, August of 2020 or so is when I officially became TX5. And a lot of people ask me, like, what does TX5 stand for? And TX5 is for Texas, obviously, and then Tompkins, my last name, times 5. So, because there's 5 of us, me and my wife and my kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
I love that.
I do like that a lot.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I'm terrible at naming anything, like the saddles and everything. I always have to get my buddies to help me out. I did come up with the Lone Star.
Nice.
And I feel like, I'm proud of that one. That's why when I was, came out with the 2.0, I was like, man, it's kind of got a name in the industry. I don't want to get away from it. So that's why I went with the Lone Star 2.0.
Yeah, I like it. It's very fitting though too. Lone Star State, and I like every bit of it, man. That's awesome. That's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's humble beginnings. I still, like I mentioned to you guys, I don't do this full time. I have full time employees. I've got 6 full-time employees that work for me that sew, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. This time of year it's getting real busy, but I still work a full-time job in a paper mill.
Yeah,
and it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, it's part of life. I started this, and I kind of want to. Obviously, the goal is to be doing this full-time one day. Hopefully the good Lord will bless me. That'll happen one day, but until then, just got to keep grinding.
Absolutely, man. You know what? That's a good freaking goal to have, though, man. Yeah. I like that a lot. I like it.
It's a scary jump to make, to go out on your own like that, but obviously, if you get there, it would be so rewarding, to look back on kind of your journey and what you had to go through, and struggling managing a business and working a full-time job, and a family of 5, like you said. I mean, that's just insane. That's a lot on your plate.
Yeah, it is. And what's kind of messed up now is, not messed up, but like kind of ironic. Like my stepson from a previous marriage, I've raised him pretty much his whole life, but there was about a 3-year period there where he didn't live with me, and he was living with his biological father. But now he's back living with me, so it should actually be TX5 or TX6.
There you go.
Because there's 6 of us now. But yeah, we're not changing. But yeah.
I'll just take a Sharpie and I'll just make my 5 a 6. It'll be good.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
I tell him, I'm like, buddy, I didn't like, leave you out or anything. You just, you weren't in the house at the time. So that's, why it's not 6.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe there's a name for a future saddle there somewhere.
Yeah, maybe so.
There we go. Perfect.
It does seem like it's going to get harder and harder to come up with new ideas and new things. I mean, there's just been everything it seems so like streamlined and so, I don't even know. Even with the minimalist and different things, it's going to be tough. I mean, obviously, like you said, you were trying to think of how to improve the Lone Star and you came up with a 2.0. But I mean, I guess if you had any kind of thoughts, is where do you see you heading? I mean, where do you see the saddles going? Do you think there's going to be another one in the lineup here soon, or?
Oh yeah, they'll always. I mean, it may be just some new features on, kind of the same, just kind of building off of the Lone Star, and the Lone Star 2.0. They'll be, just adding stuff to that or making it better is my goal at the moment. I can't tell you that I'm not going to, stumble upon something, and one of my goals, something I've been trying to do and we have done in the last year or so is kind of get into the pack game. We've got 2 packs that we have, released in the last year. Got a little bigger pack in the KISS pack and a smaller one in the EOP. But that's, if I can't come up with a new saddle, then I'll just, come up with new packs or pouches. I've got some pretty cool pouches that I've kind of been working on. A big thing, right? A lot of guys that hybrid hunt, they don't want to carry a backpack, even if it is our small little EOP. They got the little pouch under their seat that they keep all their essentials in. I've got one of those that I've been working on that is probably pretty close to I'm getting pretty close to getting ready to launch it. And some new materials. I've got the minimalist pouch. Got a new material, a new fabric that I'm going to be making it available in. It's pretty cool material. I mean, fabric is now it's called Sand One. It's a stretch nylon, but it's quiet and it's durable, and it's got a DWR treatment on it that makes it great for being outdoors. The Cordura it's an awesome fabric. It's kind of loud. On a saddle, really, it's not loud unless you're scratching your butt or something. To be honest with you, guys are I hear that a lot of times. They're like, well, is the Cordura loud? And I'm like, no, it's not loud unless you're going to be like, rubbing on your butt or something, which you shouldn't be doing that while you're hunting. But it's the inside of the saddle. You're not going to be rubbing around. When you twist or turn, the saddle is going to go with you, so it's not making any noise there.
Yeah.
But as far as the pouches go, we do sell Cordura pouches, and I've hunted with them for years, and a lot of other guys have as well. They're not as quiet as, some of this stuff that's Sitka or Osseo. They've got some real quiet packs, and their clothing super quiet and all that. But
I dig that. I want to I'd be remiss if I didn't kind of jump into it a little bit, because I know there's a lot of guys out there that are kind of pack junkies. Mm-hmm. Can we go in real quick and just kind of break down the packs that you have?
Yeah. So the KISS pack, it's abbreviation, it's KYSS, stands for Keep Your Shit Stored.
Yeah.
And we made a pouch. The KISS came from the pouch that we made. It's more of a one-sticking pouch. But it was designed to carry, a platform and a set of sticks. Obviously, you can carry one stick with it, but it's more of it does have an internal frame. It does come with, or it can come with a waist belt, so you can, anywhere from 10 to 30 pounds. It's a great pack, and that's what it was designed for, a multiple stick setup. A platform and 3 or 4 sticks. The EOP is more of was designed to work in conjunction with a tree stand or a climber. It attaches well to that, and it comes with compression straps, so you can put your clothes or if you kill an animal and you want to pack out the meat, you can put all that on the stand and use the kiss pack to cinch all that stuff down and keep it in place. But it's also a good for if you're running just a single stick. It's great for that. It's a pretty small pack. It's like 12 inches or 14 inches tall, 10 inches wide, and like 5 inches, thick. I'd have to look at my website, to be honest with you, tell you the cubic inches. Let me look real quick.
I'll look it up. I'm on there now if I can find it. Let me see.
Yeah, it's right there at the top.
I do like the look of your pack, man. I mean,
I skipped right over it.
You skipped right over there.
Yeah. I think that's because most of it.
That's a good size pack.
Yeah, it's about 600 cubic inches, and I designed that one because, like I've told you guys, I hunt a lot with my small, lock-on tree stand. I use our tree stand suspension system on that, but I wanted something to keep my crap in, or my, all my water, snacks, calls, knives, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted something small that would fit on that stand, but also wanted something, if I'm way back on public, if I kill a deer and I don't want to drag it out, I hate dragging deer out, but I can, dress the deer on the ground or however and put the meat on the stand, and then I could use the pack to cinch, to hold the meat on the stand.
Yeah.
And then haul it out like that.
I like that.
But in turn, like I said, the EOP it's perfect for a one stick.
Yeah, I might have to look into this one. It's nice and light too. I like that it's only 1 pound and 12 ounces.
Yeah, it's less than 2 pounds.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good, man.
It does have an internal frame as well.
Oh, okay.
It's got an HTP sheet on the back panel of the pack, and it's got an aluminum stay in there. So you can take that out, form it to your back, and if you're going to use it as a one stick setup, or it'll carry multiple sticks in a platform. That's not really what my purpose was for it, but it will do that.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm reading into it right now. I'm gonna. You just have to get on the website. I mean, there is so much stuff on here that is so neat. You want to talk about like convenience, and when you go saddle hunting, the biggest thing with us was basically we want to, streamline our setup. We want everything, very small and not bulky, and all of the things that you have here, just like the convenience of the pouches and some of the straps that you sell. And there was even, the milkweed pouches I was looking at. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was something I didn't even know you had. Charles just showed it to me. I was like, dude, that's sweet, man.
Yeah, those are cool. The quick draw gear hanger, that right there is worth its weight in gold. I mean, I don't know how many times I hear people talk about, I like climbing with sticks, but the hardest part is where do you put them when you're climbing up? I don't like taking multiple trips, and if for us, we made these like little loops out of paracord and but they're hanging, they look sloppy. It's just, this quick draw gear hanger, that thing is awesome. Basically, you just hook it onto your pouch. It has a little clip to it, hook it onto your gear. That way you can just unhook that clip and you're ready to go. Coming back down the tree, pull your stick off, clip it back on, you're down the tree. That way you're not dropping your sticks out of the tree. I've done that. I don't know how many times.
Oh, yeah, it's happened.
Drop my stuff out of the tree, 12 feet because I don't want to carry them or clank them. I love it, man. You have what's funny is when we started doing this, we never even thought about the line, like the product line outside of the actual saddle.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to saddle hunting than just the saddle. Like, that's just a total oversight on our end. Looking at your website, you got it all, man. You got all kinds of really nice stuff. I like the Res Tech, the 8mm that you have. There's pretty much anything you need. It looks like you could find on your website.
Yeah.
And we do sell some ANF steel. We kind of partnered with RDA, Real Deal ANF Steel, and my buddy Luke Dautel, and I get asked for aiders and have time to do that. I mean, I can do it. I can splice all that stuff, but it's just I don't have time to do it. So anyway, Luke, we have all of his products as far as ANF steel aiders, daisy chains, rope pods, all that stuff on there.
Yeah.
You can get it. And we do offer the rope, lineman's ropes. We just have one rope, but it can go either way for a lineman's rope or a tether.
Yeah, definitely.
I do get a lot of guys they want to buy it as a kit. They don't, I guess they don't want to add the saddle to their cart and then add the stick, the ropes to the rope to their cart. So I am working on getting a package together that will, they'll have the saddle and the rope together. That way you can just order it all, just one click.
Definitely. I feel like that's a lot more of a beginner too, because they kind of don't know exactly what they need. They kind of need you to put it right in their face, like, buy this.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And, we want new saddle hunters because that's going to keep keep the sport growing.
Absolutely.
And, obviously keep me in business.
Absolutely.
But yeah, those are the guys that, that really want the package deal. And I can understand it. I wasn't that guy. I was the guy that wanted to kind of piecemeal all my stuff together. But not everybody's like that,
Yeah, definitely.
It's tough. I mean, when you're trying to get into something that's so foreign from what you're used to, for me, I was kind of the same way. I was like, oh man, if I could just find a kit. And I ended up not doing it that way. I ended up, piecing it all together and buying a little piece of it here, a little bit of something I needed here, and just trying to build my entire repertoire out in the way I like it. And then you upgrade little things here and there, as you go. But it is nice for the beginner that somebody coming from a tree stand or whatever, maybe, they're new into hunting. They're like, I want to try saddle hunting.
They just hear about saddle hunting.
Yeah. It's here's my wallet. Here's my card. I will spend anything. Just tell me what I need.
Yeah.
That's the person that's good for kits.
Yeah. And there's a lot of guys out there, like we work. Obviously, when you order a saddle from us, you get to go, you pick pretty much every piece of webbing, every piece of fabric, just about every piece of webbing and every piece of fabric that goes into the saddle. You choose the color of it. So, I mean, you're getting exactly what you want. We're kind of known for that. I have guys send me their Sitka pants and their First Light pants to take apart and make their saddle and their pouches and all that stuff out of, because they just want that pattern. And it's kind of wild when you think about it, but like you said, there's just those guys out there that just, hey, here's my wallet, here's my card, this is what I want.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We try to accommodate. And another thing we're planning to do in the future, hopefully we can get it implemented this year, is we're going to have just a kind of a set color and saddle that you can just go click on. You don't have to choose all this, because it messes guys up. I say it doesn't mess it. Some guys get messed up with it. They tell me, hey man, I'm overwhelmed. You have too many options. Like, I'm trying to order a saddle. Like, just make me a saddle.
Yeah.
I don't need to pick all these different colors. I don't even know what all this stuff is. I just know I need a saddle. So what we're working towards is to have that option where you can just order, hey, when you click on it, it's going to have a picture of the saddle, and that's going to be what you get. that saddle looks cool. This is what I want. This is what I'm getting. I don't care about the colors. I just want a TX5, Lone Star 2.0. So click, add it to your cart, and we're gonna bet when they do that, they're not gonna have to wait. I'll say they're not gonna have to wait. It's gonna be probably a 3 to 5 day shipping lead time. But now, because we make all the saddles to order, we have 4 to 6 weeks. And I tell guys that I'm like, I can't keep, like, you see all the options we have. I can't stock every one of those. There's no way, especially not in four or five sizes. Like, I don't know, nobody, not even the big guys could do that. I mean, it would just be astronomical, the money it would take to do that.
Yeah. I would just kind of go back in the orders maybe and just kind of pick through them and just see what kind of the more popular combinations are, and just throw a couple of those ones together is what I would do. And
I mean, I'll go ahead and just throw it out there. I mean, it's going to be probably going to do a solid color option, which is Ranger Green. We sell a pile of those, and I'm going to do multicam because we sell a pile of those.
Yeah.
And those are going to be, you get to choose between those two. And that's what, like I said, there'll be a picture of it on there, and that's what you get.
I like it, man. I like it. Nice and streamlined. I like the other option though too. There's a lot of guys out there like you are, we're all gear junkies, and having that option to kind of, it's right in your name, custom gear.
Yep.
Having that option to customize every piece of it, I love that personally. But
yeah, and a lot of guys do, but we get emails all the time and messages all the time, and guys are they're pretty much telling us like, simplify this. So we're gonna try and do that for them.
Definitely.
A little bit for everybody. You can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not gonna hurt us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can only help us.
Well, I think that's a good transition right there. We went over a lot of the saddles and a lot of the gear you have. I kind of want you to, in your own words, kind of throw out there, why a saddle? What are the biggest benefits of hunting from a saddle?
So the biggest benefit to me is I'm always tied in. I've almost always got a tight line, and I'm secure. That's the big benefit for me, because before I started saddle hunting, I'll be honest with you, I never used a safety harness or anything like that. I was just climb up a tree, no harness, 20, 30, 40 foot up, whatever. And I was very unsafe. With the saddle, it kind of forces you to stay connected and to stay tethered in, or, your lineman's belt, whatever. That's the big benefit. And that's what my pitch to a lot of guys, because you're always connected. It almost forces you to always be connected.
Yeah. I would say that's a really good answer, man. And you're not the only one. There's so many people out there. I mean, we still talk to guys that don't use safety harnesses, and I think it's crazy, but
Yeah, and now I look back on it, I'm not super, man. I guess the older I'm in, I'm 30. We're fixing to be 38 this year. And, when I was in my, 20s, it was just, most guys, we're Superman, we're invincible, it's not going to happen to us, but it can happen to us, and it will if we're not careful.
Definitely.
Yeah. There's a lot of other benefits, obviously, but that is probably one of the most important ones when you talk about tree stand safety.
That's just what came to me off the top of my head, but it's comfortable. The one thing, like, a lot of guys are like, how comfortable is it? Well, it's to me, it's very comfortable. And if you're going to be a mobile hunter, it doesn't get much easier than a saddle. If you're going to put your stuff up and take it down on the same hunt, it does not get much easier.
Yeah, I would totally agree, man.
In my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. I love it.
The safety aspect of it is my number one, You know, it forces you to be safe. And then the number two is just, it's probably the easiest mobile hunting, you know, setup that you can get.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I would totally agree. Here's your time to shine, man. Why would someone want to buy TX5 Custom Gear?
When you buy a TX5 saddle, you are supporting, it's all made here in the USA. Everything that we make is made right here in our little shop in Louisville, Texas, USA. When you buy something from us, you're supporting our local citizens, because that's all that works for me is local citizens. But we use as much USA sourced material as we can. There's some stuff, you know, material fabric that we can't get that's made in the USA, but we get as much as we can that's made in the USA. That's a big thing for me. I love buying made in the USA. But if you buy a saddle from us, you're supporting made in the USA. Good thing to support.
I totally agree, man. You flip my saddle over, there's a little tag in there, and it says "Made in the USA" with a little flag on it, and I love that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, man. And there's obviously some stuff you can't, but the stuff that I can, I try to do it. Like almost all of my mobile hunting stuff that I use is made in the USA, because there's just a lot of the mobile hunting community is made in the USA. Like a lot of the sticks, you know, a lot of the saddles, a lot of the tree stands, you know, the I guess the more high end stuff is all made here.
Yeah.
And I think it's just great, because 5 years ago, you honestly, you couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't here. You know, you're seeing a lot more pack companies, like T&K hunting gear. I don't know if you've ever heard of those guys.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's bomb proof, you know, really good American made business. And the marsupial gear, like that's another one. That guy has just, I mean, that's gold right there. I see, you know, his Instagram videos of his shop in Arizona, or where, I think he's in Arizona, and it's like, man, hopefully one day that'll be TX5.
Yeah.
I'm pulling for you, man. I'm 100% rooting for you. That's awesome. Very cool.
I appreciate it, guys.
Good goals. Good goals.
Yeah, it's nice to have that Texas pride too. I mean, there's something to be said about that, and we have our own, one of our partners is a Texas veteran that's all USA made broadhead company, and you know we support him and everything he does, and love everything he does for the same reasons you're saying about your saddle.
What broadhead is it?
VIP broadheads, Matt and Cindy Feuderay.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever heard of that. I'll have to check that out.
Go take a look, man. They are the combat vets are typically what we shoot. They are just bad to the bone, man. Absolutely. I'm going to take a word out of your repertoire. They're bomb proof, man. I mean, there's guys that have been shooting 5, 6, 7, 10 deer with the same broadhead, pulling them out, still razor sharp, cleaning them off, and just sending them through another one. They're bananas.
Yeah, VIP Archery. Check him out. He's a good old veteran and a heck of a good dude. Spent many conversations talking to him, but he's the same way as you. You know, everything he wants and everything he does is right here in the U.S. He keeps it here, and he keeps it U.S. proud. You know, one of his companies was actually out of Pennsylvania for a little while there until they couldn't keep up with demand. What did he do? He just found another company in the U.S. that was going to be able to keep up with demand. You know, it's just what you have to do.
Yeah, and you know, it's nowadays it's so easy to I don't want to say sell out to China, but it's so easy. I mean, I get 2 or 3 emails a month from manufacturers in China telling me, hey, and you know, and it's not like the Chinese made doesn't mean poor quality anymore.
Right.
You know, there's some quality stuff that comes out of China nowadays, or Japan, or, you know, all the overseas stuff. Some of it is really, it's just as good as the stuff you get over here, but it's still not made in the USA.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's hard not to fall into that, because like I said, I get 2 or 3 emails a month of Chinese manufacturers saying, hey, we can do this for you at this, at this price. And, your customers won't have to wait anymore. And,
Yeah.
I feel you, man.
I can't say that it's not, it's tempting, but it's like, man, unless it gets to the point where I absolutely have to do something like that, I can't see myself doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just not in me at this time. And like I said, I don't have anything against anyone that does it. I want to make that clear. Like, there's just, that's part of their business plan. That's how they wanted to do it. They want, like, just say tethered. They had to do it to keep up with demand. They got so daggone big that they just, the manufacturers over here couldn't keep up with all their accessories, so they farmed them out to China. And it was just a business move they had to make. And hey, hopefully one day maybe I'll get that big, but I'll try and keep it here.
Definitely. No, and I'm not hating on people that do that either, but at the same time, I do have a certain appreciation for, the made in the USA. But,
Yeah, we're good old red-blooded Americans. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about supporting and keeping your own economy going. And, and even like you said with Tethered, I mean, look at all the people that they've employed and what they've done too with that. So It's not like all the dollars are going overseas either. You got to be careful with that stuff.
No.
But in the same sense too, I like to support the people that are supporting where we're at and putting us first. So I definitely appreciate that from you. Yeah,
absolutely, man. So as long as we can do it, we're going to keep on doing it.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's cool in the sense that, I've talked to my wife about this. I'm like our employees, it's like, hey, they depend on us to pay their bills.
Definitely.
Right. Yeah.
That's wild that I have someone, and they're doing something. They're creating a badass, high quality, USA made product that we're selling.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's crazy.
There's a lot of pride and honor in that too, I'm sure, for them, seeing that finished product and seeing those saddles go out the door.
We have great employees, man. Really, really do. Some of them I've known my whole life, some of them, or one of them I haven't, but still, most of the people that work for me are people that I've known pretty much my whole life. So
that's cool.
That's a beautiful really cool thing, man. Very cool.
I love it. Well, we can't let you get out of here. I know we're running on time here, and we don't want to hold you too long, but we can't let you get out of here without a good old-fashioned hunting story. We do it with pretty much we do it with pretty much every guest. We try to get one really good hunting story out of you, whether it's, your favorite or whatever, it can be anything, literally anything, if you got one in mind.
Well, probably, so my biggest buck and my most memorable buck was, I was going to get it mounted, and I actually lost the head in a flood.
Oh, no.
2016 and 2017, we had 100-year floods here. Where I'm sitting now in my shop is up on piers. It's 8 feet off the ground, and there was a foot of water in here, 2016. But I lost the head. It was in my brother's freezer, so I don't have it. But anyway, my wife and I were up in the National Forest, Sabine National Forest, which is about an hour and a half north of us. We've been up there all weekend hunting. Saw a few deer, nothing that we could shoot because it was rifle season, and we were hunting with rifles, and you can only shoot bucks with rifles. But on the way home, I've been going up there my whole life. I've been going up that way my whole life, ever since I was a little kid. And there's this little patch of woods that I've looked at my whole life, and I told my wife, I was like, we were coming home, and I was like, I just want to stop and walk in there. And anyway, we walked in there, and we got probably about a mile and a half back there, and she was like, I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. Let's go. So we're walking out, and as we were walking out, I saw he was cruising this ridge, man, and I just, you know, she saw him. She had a rifle too. We were both walking along with our rifles, and I just, you know, kind of just stepped back, and I pulled up and shot him, and me and her drug that sucker out. That's what made me not want to drag deer out anymore. We drug that sucker out about a mile, and it's all uphill. So by the time we got to the truck, we were both dead. But that was my biggest buck to date, and I did it with my wife on my side, so pretty cool.
That's a beautiful thing, man. I love that. That was a good story.
Yeah, it's not a cool saddle hunting story. I don't have too many of those. Ever since I started doing the saddle thing, I've really done more sewing than I have hunting.
You got to find some balance there, bud.
Yeah, come on, man.
I have. So last year I did get to do quite a bit. We went to Oklahoma for a week, and that was great. You know, me and my wife and my oldest son went up there and stayed a week up in Oklahoma, and we saw a pile of deer. And we ended up shooting. I shot a deer, and my oldest son shot a deer, but no luck with our bows. No luck finding either one of those. But that's, you know, that's bow hunting. It happens.
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
It's a bummer when it does. We all know it.
And I got to spend a week in Missouri last year. And this is all public land. We're just going, picking a spot on the map and just going. I mean,
yeah.
So got to spend a week in Missouri, and that was, you know, it was fun. I had a good time, saw some deer, but just I didn't get a deer last year.
Hey, that's all right,
meat,
man.
no deer meat last year, man. But yeah, this year I'm gonna change that.
I was
I
gonna
like
say
it.
that just means this year you got to get 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's gonna be because the nearest public land is, like I said, it's an hour to hour and a half. We did have some that was within an hour, but now that we lost that, state lost that, so now we're it's about an hour and a half to the nearest public land. So
Oh, man.
Wow.
we went ahead, and that's why I told y'all we got that private lease, and I've
Yep.
got some cameras out. Went up there a couple times and done a little scouting, put out some cameras, and got been seeing a lot of deer. So there's a lot of deer there, so we should definitely get some meat out of it. And they're seeing a few decent bucks that they're sprouting up, you know.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be a good year here, too. And I'm only getting more excited for it, man. I'm just counting the days.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped.
It's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be real good. But
My brother's literally just sending me picture after picture right now.
right now,
Bucks.
I was wondering what you were looking at.
Just blowing me up with new pictures of bucks from today. It's
There
like,
you go.
holy man. Oh,
The guy that manages that lease I'm on, he actually was like, man, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, this is just, there's really nothing but bucks over here. You probably won't see many does. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, you just want me to get this spot. But anyway, he wasn't lying. I've literally got a picture of like one doe.
Oh,
And
man.
I've got a picture, yeah, and I've probably got a picture of 10 or 12 different bucks.
Oh, wow. You know what, though?
So,
It's going to be a good year, man. I have high hopes for everybody this year. It's going to be.
yeah, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some guys wanting me to come up there to PA, man, in November, and I if I can get the time off, I'm probably gonna try and make it up there.
Come up, dude. If you come up, I want to meet up with you. Maybe we'll do an in-person podcast, or maybe we'll throw a hunt together. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It sounds like they're like Eastern PA. Are they Eastern PA or are they closer to us?
Man, I really don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to ask him. I haven't got that far into it. He's just like been begging me, not begging me, but on me like, hey man, you got to come up here. You got to come up here. Come stay with me, and man, we'll get on the deer, blah, blah, blah. And, hey, I'm down for it because I like going to different places.
Yeah. Yeah, totally different world.
Yeah, it's a whole new animal up here, bud.
Yeah, and I love going to Oklahoma.
Mhm.
It's, if y'all ever get the chance, dude, it's a sleeper state. There's a lot of deer in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of big deer in Oklahoma.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And it's not that expensive either. I looked into it.
Oh no, it's like $300 for out of state tags.
I did a turkey hunt out there a few years back, and we were going to go back for deer, and we just never ended up doing it. But man, the deer we saw while we were out there turkey hunting was just unreal. It was something pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
Well, Matt, before we let you go, man, tell everybody where they can find you, your social media, your website, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so the website is www.tx5customgear.com. Social or Facebook is TX5 Custom Gear LLC. Instagram is TX5 Custom Gear, and we do have a TikTok,
Nice.
which is TX5 Custom Gear as well. There's not much on there. I like I said, I'm not very good at the video thing, but I try to put out as much as I can. But if anybody has any questions about any of our products, we've got the email on our website, the form submission that you can do, but it's info@tx5customgear.com, or my personal email is matthewt@tx5customgear.com. Just any questions that anybody has, or if they just want to talk hunting, or talk about gear, ask about gear, whatever, just shoot us an email. We're happy to chat.
That's awesome, man. Well,
There you go.
Matt, thank you so much for coming on, man. This has been an absolute pleasure, and I think it's a great addition to our little series here.